a lot of the voiceovers for this video will be done in one take. Um, so I hope you don't mind that I'm not so very eloquent, but there's some snippets where I'm just talking while watching, and then there are some parts where I'm reading from my notes because I did take some passages from my, it's not a diary, but from my book, from my journal, where I sort of talked about or wrote about my hair and, the sort of journey that I went on to arrive to this point of styling my own hair and sort of like talking about my hair loss and the experience that I had with that yeah, all together in one video, voiceover. Um, there will be minimal editing because I just wanted you to see the whole process, and I just wanted to look back on the whole process myself as well. So if you don't mind, it will be a longer video, and a lot of the voiceovers will be untrimmed, unedited because that's just how I talk. I'm not the most eloquent person, so if you find it annoying, you can mute the video and just watch. Um, so yeah, I hope you enjoy. So I'm filming myself cutting my hair today because, well, it's not today. It's been like I think a couple of months. Um, but by the time I'm actually editing and voicing over this video, it's probably gonna be like free, maybe 4 months. No, free. Yeah, I think I did this in June. So, yeah, like I haven't had long hair for a while, and I've always been cutting my hair since high school. I just felt like at least I can manage my own expectations that way. Even if I get disappointed, it wouldn't be someone else's fault, it would be mine. And of course, I don't have to pay. Part of the reason why I started cutting my hair is because, like, I just felt it was so obscene to pay someone that much money for something that I could probably try to replicate myself. And at the end of the day, you probably don't even know if you would be happy with a haircut. And I'm only saying this about hairdressers that I just haven't gone to yet because after moving houses, the place that we live in, it's much more, it has less hair salons and less, like, it's not the hairdressers that I trust anymore. So I feel like getting my hair cut is also a different experience, and I decided to just, try myself. So yeah, this me like cutting my own hair and styling it afterwards. And I'm honestly pretty happy with the results. Like I did not think it would turn out that way, but I thought I would let you guys see the whole process and kind of explain why I do my own hair now and all the reasons why. Yeah. So tune in. So as I mentioned previously, I've done my hair since high school. By doing, I mean I've been cutting and possibly even styling my own hair, but really like it's just been a blunt cut. I've never tried a lot of like fancy moves. And by blunt cut, I mean like this is what you're seeing right now, the state that my hair is in. Like there is no layers, it's just a flat cut, and then all of the hair is just like sort of ruching up on the ends because there's no layering, there's no finesse to the cut. But yeah, it's really nothing fancy. I'm just chopping it off for fun during high stress periods or, prolonged boredom spells, anhedonia. And that, deludes me into thinking that a haircut is exactly what I needed. But yeah, I never really cared about the technique until I waited. I wanted to try my hair, try out like a more different styles. So like a more refined hairstyle and a more put together look that really required me to concentrate and use another mirror in my hand and like try to get the back. So I think that first experience was when I cut my hair after graduating high school. I had dyed my hair a couple of times, and it was kind of, I did my roots, and then I did my hair, and I kind of did to overall color. If I still have pictures, I can show you. But yeah, I wanted to do this like really like this cascading cut where it's long in the front and short in the back, and it was like a bob. And actually, it turned out pretty well. Um, yeah, if I have pictures, I'll put it in right now. But I never really particularly cared about whether it would or would not look flattering on myself, just that I wanted to try it and that was the end of it. And thankfully, this open-minded attitude did get me to try some new things, such as dyeing my hair all different colors. I will insert pictures if I find them. Um, I've gone split dye, pink and blue. I've tried purple blue, and I've dyed my whole head like a silverish blonde, which was really damaging to my scalp, and I'll get into that later. A pink to green, like in Demon Slayer, a green, blue, pink. And while I've done all these looks, I never really thought about whether or not it really looked good on me. I just wanted to try something new. And I think that is good. Like never was granted that freedom to really experiment with myself, especially in a high school in Asia. That was just not possible. We had a dress code, we had a uniform. Your hair can only be this or that color, and you can't have like a really fancy or crazy looking earring or like even jewelry accessories. That's just not it's not customary for you to wear that. It's a bit more lax than it is in Japan. Say like you can't even wear ponytails there or something like that. But it was still a lot for me to kind of grasp because I feel like all my life I wasn't allowed to try these things that I saw pretty girls wore and tried. I grew up in a Catholic family, and I wouldn't say I was forced into it, but I had to attend Sunday school. And I remember like my teachers in Sunday school telling me that my shorts were not acceptable because they exposed too much of my erogenous zones, or I wasn't allowed to wear a specific shade of nail color because it would be too suggestive or something like that. And I was just a girl, like I wouldn't even know the concept of what an erogenous zone or what is suggestible even mean. I just feel like that experience of experimenting with my look and trying to feel pretty was taken away from me in my childhood. So when I came out of um, high school, I really went off the deep end with experimenting with my look, and now I have like short hair. I've had hair that I've never even fathomed of doing. I've had yeah, I have tattoos. I've had different colors and all these looks that I've tried, and sometimes I try like piercings, not on my ears, but like I stick stuff on my face and I try glitter, I try crazy makeup looks and all that, and I think it's all a result of that, but I won't get into it. Um, but I think after experimenting for so long, I think the best look for me is either this almost like Maizenin or like in Hong Kong we have this famous comic called Subsandim, and she's like a fashionista, but she has a like a 60s 70s bob, and it's so cute. But yeah, I think that bob and like with long hair and a fringe are probably my two best looks. So I could picture it here and there if you want to see. And I'd say that if I had a signature look slash cut, it would be these two styles that you're seeing right now. But I can't have that long hairstyle anymore, and I'll go into it now. Um, After most of my health issues in university, the main reason being PCOS, some hormonal issues, and like coupled with my just, I guess, depression, and I just wasn't eating right as well. Like sometimes you just don't eat. When you're like so, I don't know, but it's just like you wouldn't go out of your way to eat, and you certainly wouldn't go out of your way to cook, and like it was just really hard to get back into the swing of things. So after most of my health issues that sprouted up in university, as well as the fact that I went to university abroad, so the water was different, and I think water is also a very important thing when you assess like skin health, and that pertains to your scalp as well. So I wasn't using the right shampoo or conditioner, and that caused a lot of buildup as well, which obviously did not help. So I decided to just start fresh. So after that, the hair was not the same anymore. My hair was thin, it was like brittle, it was fine, and my scalp was super oily at the roots, and prone to dry breakage at ends. And so at the same time, I think my depression, like coupled with my unwillingness to eat properly, caused a bit of a avalanche with my PCOS hormone problem. And I was practically malnourished and I saw the signs. Like, I mean, I had dried lips, I had eye bags, and my nails were just a bit like brittle. And so I wasn't eating enough protein to sustain myself because I felt like, it's such a hassle to cook animal protein and sometimes it just looks gross in the grocery store. And I couldn't get tofu all the time, so it was just I wouldn't eat fish and tofu every day, so it just wouldn't like it just wasn't great for my diet overall. Like I would eat chickpeas and beans and all that like vegetable protein, but it wasn't enough to sustain myself. And I didn't have the knowledge of nutrition that I do now. So, yeah. But yeah, it was unnoticeable at first. I think my hair loss began in my second year of university. But as I kept dying and cutting my hair, I realized the whole process took way faster each time. Then I discovered that I was losing my hair quite rapidly. Um, like sometimes when you cut your hair, right, you flip through, you create sections, and I realized like I was seeing scalp even when I was pulling my hair back, like not very tightly. So I was just like, damn, this is not great. It's really worrying. So, did a number of treatments like, getting my hair professionally washed, getting a scalp diagnosis, all that. And ultimately, like, going to see a doctor about my hormone problem and trying to eat better and trying to work out more. And that did cause an overall positive change. But I think after I came out to get my first job, like, and it was a very toxic environment. I will elaborate on it in another video, but there's just too much to get into. um, I was just unwilling to go into work, when you kind of bargain with yourself in the morning after you wake up and just be like, okay, you have to do this, like you have to go in. Just like how many more months can you do, like, just bargaining with yourself. But it got to a point where going into work, like, because I live pretty far away from work, I live like an hour away. So when I was taking the train into work, I progressively felt more and more like my chest just felt tighter and tighter. And I think it was either from anxiety and stress, but of course, there was also the high blood pressure from all of that mixed together. We had a lot of deadlines that we had to meet, but we had a small team, and a lot of it was just weighing on the staff, which was just me and this other girl, and it was just a lot for us to handle. On some days, there was just so much, and we would be stuck in meetings all day because like we are more of a public facing organization, so a lot of it boils down to meeting new clients or collaborative units to discuss upcoming projects. But since staff is only limited to her and I, we there was not a lot of space for us to finish the work that we needed to get done throughout the day. And I would take my laptop, like my work laptop home. I would take my work back home to work on it, and I wouldn't be sleeping until like 2 a.m. and then I'd wake up and go into work again. So it was not great. I was also sitting on my ass all day, and I just didn't have the mental resources to actually regulate that by going outside and doing some exercise or just walking, like if you live so far away, the only way to transit is to just walk. So, not walk, sorry, is to just take the train or take the bus or take a car and not walk. And it's really funny because I think a lot of the lower level, not lower level stuff, but the employees at my level. So I'm talking about this coworker and I, we both lived very fucking far away from our work. So I'm pretty sure that we were both burnt out. Um, and the healing process really was super funny because I don't know. Okay, I'll get into it in the other video, but yeah, I realized I lost so much hair during that. Like there was this period of time when my scalp got better and I saw a lot of new growth coming through again, like baby hairs and stuff. But after that, like I was really noticing like bald spots on my head, like on the top of my head. As well as like my split. When you split your hair, I saw my split widening. It was really scary for me. But I mean, like I've already kind of embraced it. At first, I felt terrified, you know. I was scared of washing my hair. I was scared of like combing my hair. I was scared of blow drying my hair. Like, but you know, I realized like I shouldn't let that hold me back. I can still find a hairstyle that works for me and suits me, that makes me feel confident and comfortable. So I'm not so limited by it anymore, but back then I really was. Like I was scared of going out. I had to wear a hat. And you know, it just made things worse because my hair is already oily and wearing a hat does not help, especially in the summer. But yeah, that's that. Um, so it wasn't like I wasn't too psychologically preoccupied with my hair, as it was the one thing that was always that always returned to normal with time. So like I didn't have this like obsession with my hair where I was like it has to be this way, it has to be this length. If it's not that length, if I cut it even 1 inch short, it will literally ruin my life. No, I'm not like that. You know, I saw my hair as something as an accessory like that always comes back to normal, you know? Like you can cut it whichever way, you can dye whichever way. Your hair always grows out and it goes back the same color, the same texture, and you know there was really not a lot of space for change with that regard. So was really comfortable with it. Um, but not anymore. Like after my health issues, my hair fell out more and it grew back thinner. And to be honest, I was not fully emotionally disturbed by it until I started seeing bits of my scalp from my hair, which was quite scary, yeah. But I think the most emotional part of it was not being able to do a lot of the hairstyles that I used to love. So I used to love doing like updos and braids, um, like plaits. Like, you know, I would braid my hair into two sections and then I would tie it up in this like, I don't know what the fuck you call it, but you know, I would pin it around my head and it would make a sort of crown look. Thought it was cute. Um, you know, I did like ponytails. I did buns, but like it was not possible for me anymore with the volume of my hair going down and you know like the fineness of my hair. If I tied it up, you can totally see the scalp, and it was just I did not like that look, you know. But and also because you know traction, alopecia is also a thing. So with my hair falling out more, I just felt like that was not a good idea. But you know, I'm less bothered by how it looks to people anymore, and I'm really, you know, if I want to tie it up, I'll tie it up. If I want to pin it up, I'll pin it up. I don't care if you see my scalp anymore. I feel like a lot of girls have been, like a lot of young girls especially that I've seen in Hong Kong, they really are rocking that bald look. Like they're either rocking that bald look, the pixie look, or you know, they don't really care about their hair loss. Like people used to hide it. At least I used to hide it. But seeing these women be not bothered about the way that they appear to people, going out with like maybe bald spots on their head that is visible, like that makes me more comfortable with how I am. And I don't want to hide it anymore. So yeah. But yeah, I think the most tragic thing about hair loss is that you're not able to do a lot of things that you used to be able to do. And I feel like that made me appreciate having thicker hair and more hair. Um, like, you know, made me appreciate my old hair more. But I am glad that I got to experiment with it before it came to this. You know, I really can't do a lot with it now, but I got the most out of it when I still could. So I'm not too tragic. I don't feel too down about it like that. But yeah, I decided to cut my hair really, really short to not think about the gaps and the bare spots on my hair and head. And, you know, regardless of how I arrived at the bob for my signature look, I do think that it's the first time that I felt a hairstyle really resonates with my look. And, you know, it resonates with my look and also makes me feel happy and confident. And also, like, I think comfort is really tied to how you look. The more comfortable you look and you feel, the more confident you look. And I realized that in Hong Kong, long hair is just not the way to go because it's so hot here and it's so humid. I hate that my hair just feels weighed down, especially when it's longer and it sticks to my neck. So if I have a shorter hairstyle, it's easier to style, faster to dry, easier to clean as well. Like I can get to my scalp much better when I wash, and I don't have to concern myself with the ends that much, with like breakage and everything. But yeah, in Hong Kong, it's just not possible for me to have long hair because I get bothered by it. Like I don't even like feeling my hair touching my neck when I'm sleeping on a pillow. That could just be a sensory issue for me, but I don't know. After having long hair for so long, I just feel like, no, short hair for so long, I feel like long hair is just really high maintenance for me. I couldn't deal with it. But, the longest I've ever let it gone is like shoulder length after these years. But yeah, I like short hair. It suits me. It makes me feel comfortable, and I feel the most like myself when I have it. Like it's become my signature look, unwilling or not. And yeah, this is just me doing that. I watched a couple of videos on hairstyling and cutting layers, and I just sort of tried replicating that here. Um, kind of amateur at it, but yeah. The whole process is me cutting my hair down first, combing it down, making sure it's straight. Sometimes I spray it with water if I drag, like if I use my two fingers and lift my hair up and the ends just won't stay straight, then I will spray with water just to give it more integrity so I can cut. And yeah, like you will just be watching a lot of that here. This is me cutting layers into my hair, trying to get that like curvy, like that rounded bob look. I will show you pictures, like reference pictures of my old hair. But yeah, I found out that like it's not the bob that looks good. It's after I cut this bob, it's me styling it to one side and sweeping it over to one side after blow drying it. That looks good. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video because I won't be adding more commentary on top of that. So you can just watch in silence or, just put it on and study my technique, my amateur technique. If any hairstylists come across this and you're just, yeah, I'm sorry, like in advance. But it works for me at the end. Like it really does. I have a later video coming out where I kind of update the hairstyle by cutting it shorter and after I've dyed it a different color and all that just before I trip because it's hot there and I didn't want to be totally uncomfortable when I got there. So yeah, that'll be coming out soon and I will get back to you guys. This is the difficult part. This is me trying to think about how I can use one hand to carry the mirror and to use my scissors in the other. And then I got to the point where I was like, maybe I should just find a way to place my mirror down so I can use both hands to cut the back of my head. Ultimately, that did not work. You can see me all the thoughts swirling around my head, but never really got anywhere with that idea. But yeah, this is me just looking at the current state of the back of my head. You can see it's very uneven, but like who cares? Once I blow dry it, it's not gonna be so crazy looking. Here I'm thinking about what sort of tactic I should use. You see me struggle to tie it up. I thought, maybe I could do like like a car mirror type situation, and it's not working. I only had that flimsy yarn or string. It's really more of a string than it is a yarn to tie it up, and even so, it would be not very nice. So I gave up and I decided to just cut the back of my head with one hand on the mirror and one hand on the scissors. Here I am, getting ready to cut my bangs. And I think watching this back now, but also having to wear my hairstyle for a while, I realized that I cut my bangs too short and I did not bring it down to my nose. So that's why it could have been shorter than I imagined. But because it was short, I couldn't really sweep it to one side and it couldn't make that fringe look that I wanted. Also, you know how when you cut your bangs, like it's just hard for it to lay down properly, so you have to like really wash and style your hair afterward to see how it looks like. I think that's the most dangerous part of cutting bangs. But yeah, this is just me trying to visualize what it looks like and then deciding, okay, I just need to wash my hair and start over. This is me blow drying and trying to style my hair for the first time with my other hand on the comb. I've never really done that before. As you can see, I'm trying to gauge the power of the hair dryer and just trying my hand at doing the combing thing first. But I realized that my hair was a bit too wet for me to actually get the comb through, so I had to dry it first. But I've already parted and swept my hair to the other side. I didn't do the center part because I think I would much rather have a fringe than like wispy bangs in the summer, which was the first mistake that I did the first time around when I had this cut. Um, it was just tough to have. I had to starch it throughout the day because it would just get too oily. I mean, I have hyperactive skin and I have a hyperactive scalp, so it just wasn't a great idea for me to have bangs at all. I think that's like a winter look. And yeah, that's what happens when I blow dry my hair upside down. But yeah, it's decently dry enough now that I can attempt to comb it down. I will have to use gel later, as you will see, to gel down the fringe because it is too short. But overall, I think throughout this whole process, I learned that I don't know. I have faith in myself and my own cutting ability, and it does get better down the line. Like I really figure out how to get that look and to cut real fast. Like all this really took an hour, so I am very happy with myself, and like decently proud of how it came out. Are you prepared for the final review? Because this is it. Um, Listen, it's not the most even thing ever, but I'm happy with it. I look back at it now and I see myself really happy, and I don't think it looks bad. So hey, if it ain't broke, right? But yeah, this is the review. I did snip off that part that hangs out afterward because well, English. It is because I flipped it over to the other side, which is why it's a bit uneven, but I did trim that bit afterwards. Yeah, um, it looks great. I like it. I can't complain. But yeah, you see how happy I look. So yeah, um, there's a lot more. Yep, that. Oh, this is the cleanup bit. So yeah, enjoy.